Welcome, everyone, to Shenandoah Field. Today, we've got the Hornets and the Hornets on LHSN. But first, we are going to honor the Lynchburg seniors on this squad. And for that, we send it over to Mark Weaver, our PA announcer today.
The Lynchburg women's soccer class of 2021. These 5 individuals have dedicated the past several years toward the betterment of the Hornet women's soccer program and themselves, including ODAC titles and NCAA tournament appearances to the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 in 2017 and 2018, respectively. Let's meet the Lynchburg women's soccer class of 2021. Number 4, Dana Seavey. A midfielder from Mendham, New Jersey, Dana is the daughter of Anna Marie and Brian Seavey. She's a member of the Criminology Club and National Honor Society of Leadership and Success, and was selected ODAC All-Academic and the Lynchburg Academic Athlete of the Year in 2020. On the field, she totaled 3 goals and 4 assists in her career. A Westover Honors and Dean's List Scholar, she will graduate with degrees in Criminology and Psychology, along with a Criminal Forensics minor. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana Seavey. Number 8, Emma Hyatt. A defender from Woodbridge, Virginia. Emma is the daughter of Liz and Chris Hyatt and a sister to Eric. She is a member of Chi Alpha Sigma Honor Society and the ODAC All-Academic team. Emma has 4 goals and 2 assists in her career. She will graduate with a degree in health and physical education. Ladies and gentlemen, Emma Hyatt. Number 21, MJ Lyons. A defender from Lynchburg, Virginia. MJ is the wife of Michael Lyons and the mother of Kyle, and she is escorted by her parents, Chris and Sarah. She is the winner of the Robert Noyce Scholarship and was named one of 5 Teachers of Promise by the University's College of Education. On the pitch, she scored a goal on 7 shots in 1+ seasons with the program. MJ will graduate with a degree in mathematics with minors in secondary education and Spanish. Ladies and gentlemen, MJ Lyons. Number 23, Jessica Lockowitz.
Yeah, Jeff.
A defender from Roanoke, Virginia. Jessica is the daughter of Karen and Dr. Jason Lockowitz. She works with the University's Beard Center on Aging and serves as a resident assistant here at Lynchburg, and was a nominee for the prestigious Somerville Scholarship. A Dean's List and ODAC All-Academic Scholar and member of multiple honor societies, Jessica will graduate with a degree in biology along with a history minor. Upon graduation, she intends to enroll in Presbyterian College's Physician Assistant Program. Ladies and gentlemen, Jessica Lockowitz.
Everybody stay there for a group shot, okay? Stay for a group shot.
And last, but certainly not least, Student Assistant Tanner Olson. Hailing from Lynchburg, Virginia, Tanner is the son of Dale and Toddy. He spent his childhood growing up in the Lynchburg women's soccer program and dedicated his college career to helping the team remain one of the standard bearers in NCAA Division III excellence. He is also a member of the University's rock climbing club. A Dean's List Scholar, Tanner will graduate with a degree in criminology and minors in psychology and Spanish. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanner Olson. Let's have another round of applause for the class of 2021.
Congratulations to the seniors being honored today for Lynchburg. We'll step aside, come back, and commence the pregame of this ODAC showdown featuring Shenandoah and Lynchburg on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
As promised, we are back, and today it is an ODAC showdown of epic proportions. The Hornets and the Hornets, Lynchburg and Shenandoah from Schellenberger Field. Hello, friends and fans. Welcome inside our little shed set up here as we get ready for a beautiful day of soccer. I'm Joe Hutzler. She's Erin Farina. And Erin, today is a day that you've experienced both as a senior and as an underclassman. I first want to ask you about the emotions being a senior on, this isn't the final day, but it's your day to be celebrated. What was that like for you?
It's a pretty emotional day. It's kind of bittersweet. You know, you're here to play, and it's an exciting game getting ready for, but you also know that this is one of your last games of the season. So this is kind of the point in the year that it's getting real, that this is becoming the end of your career.
Right. Well, what about those that aren't seniors? We hear a lot of times they want to play hard for the seniors. Is that a mentality that is kind of spread across the sports world? Is, you understand the importance of this day for those ladies?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, as an underclassman, this is also kind of a crucial point where you're realizing this is one of the last games that I'll play with X, Y, and Z players. Right. And after this point, they're not going to play again. So I'm going to do whatever I can to prolong their season as much as I can.
Well, let's certainly try to prolong the day today. Maybe we'll get extra soccer. Who knows? But first, let's talk about our coaches this afternoon, and two coaches that have been with their programs for a while. And over there on the other side of the players is Elizabeth Pike, double-digit winning seasons in the past 5 of 7 seasons for her in her 14th year with Shenandoah. And on Lynchburg sidelines, you'll find Dr. Todd Olson getting ready for the game. 27th season with the program, coming off the lowest amount of wins in one season since 2006 with those 11 wins in 2019, but sitting pretty right now with a record of 4-1 overall. And shifting gears to the players you should keep in mind for today, we're going to start with Shenandoah because they are the visitors and because we're looking at Hannah Sharrow first. She's a backline player for the Hornets. The only goal of the game against Virginia Wesleyan the other day, and that was a 3-1 loss for them. So she could be an important player, especially coming in off that back line for Shenandoah. As for Lynchburg, we're taking a look at Maddie Myers, who had the lone goal in the win over Randolph-Macon. She is a sophomore, and she is someone that you can tell each and every game she's gaining more confidence in her own abilities, and her teammates are confident in what she can do as well. So she should be a force for Lynchburg in the midfield area. We're going to step aside, come right back, and get you ready for the first touch of Lynchburg and Shenandoah on LHSN.
Lynchburg really stood out for me just because of the way it treated its students. They really do make an effort here, and I've learned that over my 4 years is that they actually do try to listen to what the student body wants, and they try to act on that. They don't really just give you a piece of paper here to then go off and do your own thing. They actually prepare you to work with different populations, which is what the world is all about. It's just working with people that are different than you. They genuinely care that everyone has the ability to go off into the world and make a difference with whatever they like. For me, that's just being basically in a room with someone helping them achieve their first goal of, doing a pull-up. I actually do believe they want you to do the best you can to change someone's life for the better. You can be anyone here, which I think is really cool, but regardless of who you are here, they will make sure you don't fall through the cracks, which is awesome. I have realized that I've never felt lost here. I will not regret ever coming here, that's for sure. So I'm very glad that I came here. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome.
At Lynchburg, we don't fear change. We embrace it. In our students, on our campus, in our community, and around the world. We're building on our legacy of always moving forward. It's the same place, with a new name. Welcome to the University of Lynchburg.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what the school's really good at doing.
Okay, the starting lineups have been announced. The national anthem has been played, and we are ready to go here from sunny Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg in Lynchburg, Virginia. Joe Hutzler and Aaron Farina with you this afternoon. The first of 2 games on LHSN, the second being men's soccer hosting Hampton-Sydney this evening at 5 p.m. Coach Matt Newton, who is an assistant coach for Lynchburg women's soccer, will join me in the booth for that game. So if you if this isn't enough for you, we've got more for you later on today. Should be a good one. It's always good when those two get together, especially since the last time they did. Lynchburg beat them in PKs in the ODAC tournament on their own field. So there's some revenge there coming for Hampton-Sydney. As for this series, it's the 13th meeting since 2010. Now, the Hornets of Shenandoah have only been playing women's soccer in the ODAC since 2012, so a couple non-conference USA South versus ODAC matches in the previous 2 seasons. But Lynchburg has only lost once. These 2 teams have tied once in the previous 12 matchups. The Hornets of Lynchburg have never lost to Shenandoah here at home today, and certainly want to continue that trend this afternoon. Aaron, based on what we saw together way back when, it seems like, when the season began, and what this team has done recently with Lynchburg winning 3 or 4 of their last 5 to start the year, what makes you think that today is going to be another successful result for the Hornets?
I think that, especially coming off of a really good win from their last home game, they've probably got a good amount of fire and ready for this game. And not to mention that this is one of the games that's closing out their season. So they're fighting for being able to host ODACs. And I mean, I think that being at home is going to give them a pretty decent advantage on that as well.
Now for Shenandoah, the other way of that argument is, well, we've never won here before, so let's get it done today. What, from a mentality standpoint as an athlete, are you aware of those things, or are you just really focused on the next opponent as they come up on your schedule?
No, absolutely. I think that you definitely are aware of those kind of details. Definitely. I think that when you're playing at home, it's more of a defend your own turf type of thing. But when you're playing away, and especially when in Shenandoah's case, when you have never won on Lynchburg's home field before, it's almost like you've got a little bit of something to prove. It's a pride matter.
Just 3 matches left for Lynchburg, by the way. Only 1 home match after today in the regular season. That's going to be March 28th at 2 o'clock against Washington and Lee. And meanwhile, this one has begun. Lynchburg and Shenandoah for the 13th time since 2010. The only win for Shenandoah was in 2019. That was a 2-1 victory in Winchester. As Lynchburg pressures first, it's across, it is poked away, then the rebound is in! Just 23 seconds gone by, and Lindsey Grady makes it 1-0 Lynchburg. Check it out again on the replay. Just pressure, Aaron, just constant aggression inside the box.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, that was a really dangerous cross into the box, and it looks like Amanda Wigbold did a really good job getting a first touch on that and challenging the goalkeeper on a nice 50-50 ball, and Lindsey Grady doing her job and being there to clean up the rest of it.
For Grady, that is the 3rd goal of her sophomore season. And not a good start for Shenandoah with all of the bullet points we just gave you to start the broadcast. And again, here's Wigbold getting involved, but holding on is the keeper today for Shenandoah, Alyssa Brown. We got the heads up that Alyssa might wear number 0 today because of not having the 98 jersey printed yet, but today it's on. So sporting the number that she has on the roster for the first time. And Shenandoah has a great counter opportunity here on a set piece. Looks like Maya Horner will be kicking in from the corner. It's a low drive, and just getting a touch on that. I think it was Shenandoah that touched it last. Yes, it didn't quite make it to Laura Mason. That was Maya Pencil for Shenandoah that was in on that potential play at the net. Meanwhile, Newman looking for Wigboldy. Wigboldy picks it up. There's the long stride to the outside. And a crosser that just finds its way lackadaisically through the scoring area. Brown, the freshman out of Camden, Delaware, will boot this one away. 3 games played this season for Brown. She's given up 5 goals before that goal scored by Lindsey Grady. Smith's pass, broken up. Myers looking to chase it down for Lynchburg, being shadowed by Elizabeth McGee, and McGee goes down. Sometimes the crowd says it all. Myers smartly gave that one up before the defense got there. Taylor Smith trying to work around Morris, and does, only briefly. Santana having to come back and play defense. Ida Swisher came way up in the midfield formation. Now everybody gets back where they need to be. Myers working against Morris. Racing to the end line, and it is going to be a goal kick for Brown. Shenandoah coming off a 11-9 season, 6-4 in the ODAC, losing 2-1 in the ODAC first round at Virginia Wesleyan in 2019. Not having Emily Jurgen, the all-conference player, for the first time in 4 seasons. Lynchburg, by the way, in 2019, no all-conference players for the first time since 1995. Still somewhat early in the year, but you have to imagine that's going to change this season, with especially having someone like Taylor Smith in the middle of the field and already winning an ODAC Player of the Week honor. Just seems so odd, Aaron, that 5 games in, you're over halfway done. It feels very, very weird that we're talking about these numbers, and I'm saying, well, it's still pretty early. Actually, no. After today, just 3 matches left. You never got to experience this, luckily, but I got to imagine it's so weird for the athletes to know that they only have 9 games to get ready for.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how that really feels, honestly. I mean, you are already in a weird situation because you're playing in a completely different season than you usually do. And then on top of that, your season itself is shortened pretty drastically, especially for fall sports in particular. Not a lot of players, or not a lot of teams have been playing out of conference games, and that cuts down at least half of your season as it is.
Yeah, less than 2 months. The season started on February 21st. It'll end mid-April. And so you don't have a lot of time to get prepared for tournament play, for postseason play. So it really benefits those like Bridgewater and Lynchburg who have jumped out to a pretty good wins-loss record and feel confident, leading into it. This is not the season where you want to try to have a late push. There just isn't time to get good late.
Absolutely. It also, it definitely probably plays an impact on the teams that have a lot of younger players as well, because usually you are given obviously a certain amount of time in a regular season, and you're developing these players and you're getting them used to game-like situations. And I mean, you just don't have that kind of opportunity this season.
Well, you mentioned young, 13 freshmen on this Shenandoah roster, which features about 21, 22 players. So the majority of them young and having to be put into playing time positions, as this ball will sail high and will be played by Emma Hyatt. Lynchburg's young as well, but they were younger, it felt, in 2019. A lot of the players that we're seeing now, like Myers and D'Amato, are players that got time in 2019. So, yes, relative to starting, they are inexperienced. However, they've been out here before. Lindsey Grady's, who has the goal so far today. This is not that fresh for them specifically. Ida Swisher traced that one down. It was Lindsey Grady, 23 seconds into the match, with her third goal of the season that put us where we are at 1-0. Since then, Lynchburg's had a couple chances, and so has Shenandoah. It's really evened itself out since that hot start.
Yeah, I think while Lynchburg did a really good job coming in with a really big burst of intensity, obviously they were really aggressive in that first 60 seconds. But since then, we've just seen really both teams kind of trying to like gain possession of the ball, and it's pretty 50-50 here at the moment.
Victoria Newman working against Abby Marquette. And Marquette will make it a throw in for the Hornets of Lynchburg. I almost messed up. I almost only said Hornets. So, a couple times a year, you got to go with the school instead of the mascot.
Especially in the ODAC.
Yes, especially, yeah. We've got enough insects as it is. Luckily, we're not pulling any insects into the vacant space that's going to be left by Emory and Henry when they move up to Division II. The Averett University Cougars will be full-time ODAC members in the 2022-23 academic year. A school that most of our teams at Lynchburg play consistently every year as it is, so it won't be that much of a change as Swisher just puts one on, and it's Brown making the catch, two-handed catch. Pressure building here for Shenandoah's offense. Abby Alexa getting involved on the far side. And it'll be tossed in from Kristen Fisher. Hyatt forced to play it along the end line, so there's a bit of deja vu here. 3 shots right now credited to Lynchburg. Shenandoah still waiting their first. And a save has been given to Alyssa Brown. Unfortunately, the rebound off that save led to an open net for Lindsey Grady. A long wait here. Now finally tossed in from Fisher, who chips one high, and an offside call before that kick was made. to bring Emma back here. So Hyatt and Lyons, Lakowitz getting the chance to play today on senior day. As far as we know, Dana Seavey is still injured to a degree that she cannot play, but she is dressed, as you saw in the pregame senior day ceremony. She actually has a penny on the sideline. It'd be great to see if she can make her way onto the field for the first time this season after having off-season knee surgery back in the late summer, early fall. Once again, Shenandoah over these past few minutes, nothing really sustainable yet, Aaron, but they are building something here. They are getting some momentum to swing their way.
Yeah, absolutely. Shenandoah, well, they're not necessarily getting any chances on frame right now. They're doing a pretty decent job of keeping the ball in their attacking third. And it's been a little bit since Lynchburg has gotten the ball in their own attacking third late on in this half.
One-on-one battle along the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick. Good defense from Ida Swisher, not letting Elizabeth McGee make that turn. For those that aren't necessarily into soccer, they might see these chances as wasted opportunities and boring, but as a former player yourself, what can the team that's doing that, what can they ascertain from that? What are they maybe learning that helps them for a push later on?
I mean, they might be seeing sort of weaknesses and holes in the defense and things like that. I think also just because of Lynchburg's formation, because they play three in the back, they might be seeing where they can and can't get through those seams and like these overlapping players and see if they can get a little bit of a fast break or catch their Lynchburg's holding midfield off guard and not pulling back into defense.
Well, the past few minutes, they've tried both sides of the field. They've tested the Emma Hyatt, Alex Allen side, and then Swisher most recently on this side of the turf. As they continue to do a little bit of scouting in the game itself. Not a whole lot of tape to go off of course, as we've talked about the minimal amount of games. 6 played by Shenandoah and 5 for Lynchburg. As this one gets launched over the head of everyone. Allen has to make a play. Does not go back to Mason. Dangerous position for Lynchburg's defense, and they're forced to just put it out here on the touchline.
I think that was a little bit of miscommunication between Allen and Mason. I think that it looked like Allen was kind of ushering the ball in, waiting for Mason to come in and pick it up, and it just looked like a little bit of miscommunication on who was doing what there.
Yeah, good point, because you could see Mason came out initially and then she backtracked. Yeah, because she saw Shenandoah's Maya Pencil coming close in, so decided. Had to take a breath there for a moment. Ball was coming awfully close to our cameraman in the middle of the field. He's okay, and so are we. So we continue. Good pass. Taylor Smith, but it just ran out of steam. So picking it up is Abby Marquette. Newman working one-on-one. Looking to get through, but very good defense. Being put on by Morris. And then eventually just too many Shenandoah players around the ball. And it's going to be a corner. First one of the day for Lynchburg. They have 32 on the season. 23 against conference opponents. And it will be Taylor Smith booting this one away as usual. In swings it towards the other side and headed away from harm. And eventually across the 18. That one was awfully tight, but somebody that is wearing a blue shirt helping out Alyssa Brown. Shenandoah's quick counter was short-lived. And now it's Lynchburg in the midfield working. Hear the good conversation, constant communication happening. Time McGee could turn. Santana was right there. Allen and Pensile came together. It lays up here for McGee. She'll cross one that Mason will gladly accept. An easy catch for the junior out of Stafford, Virginia. Mason making her 6th start of the year. 3 goals against with 8 saves. That's a save percentage of .727 for her. Not getting the chance to play golf this season because of everyone playing during the same time of the year, but she will get an opportunity to do that next year with Coach Vaverka and his 2 programs who are finishing up their time at Jekyll Island Golf Club in Georgia. I got word from Coach Dunn as Mason hauls that one in. The swimming coach who's helping out with the travel situation in Georgia, that it's the final day, but it's the worst day. Cold and rainy all day long. And Aaron, I have to admit, I didn't feel bad for him at all.
I'm not jealous of them. I can say that.
The reason I don't feel bad for him is because of the snaps that I've been getting of him and Coach Vaverka on the beach. So deal with it. Wigboldy. And this one chips through. That's why you sometimes just rip one. You never know what's going to happen when it bounces around. And Lynchburg's going to go to another corner. And it will be Taylor Smith again.
Lynchburg corner being taken by number 3, Taylor Smith.
Smith, the first ODAC Women's Soccer Athlete of the Week when the season got rolling. This one goes a bit far. Wigboldy tries to head it back into the center and eventually cleared out by Marquette. One of those lone seniors on the roster for Shenandoah. Lone as in 2. Her and Abby Alexa, number 7. The only graduating seniors. Of course, everyone has an opportunity if they want to come back in the fall, even if they're graduating this May. Since there is no NCAA tournament, NCAA granting everyone an extra year of eligibility, but you do have to be enrolled, so if grad school's not in your plans, it could be a really tough decision to try and come back and force yourself to play. Not to mention, Aaron, if you're not a GA, it's on you to pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, luckily at least a school like Lynchburg, there are a lot of graduate assistant opportunities, not just in the athletic department, even though that's what we're most familiar with, obviously.
Of course. Yeah, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that this institution is heavily founded on graduate assistant work. That usually leads to jobs. So it's a win-win. You get your degree paid for and either stay here and get a full-time gig or go somewhere else with great experience. Mason running out and just got there in time. Dead sprint. Mason and Pensile. And it was as tight as it could be as we get our first substitutions of the afternoon. Alyssa D'Amato will replace our only goal scorer so far, Lindsey Grady, for Lynchburg. And we're also going to see Sarah Sonic for Shenandoah, sophomore out of Martinsburg, West Virginia. That's right, Sarah Sonic, a member of the Appleman alumni group, just like me, went to Musselman High School. So we can both say that once an Appleman, always an Appleman, and it's a great day to be a Hornet as well. I'm just glad that it said Martinsburg and didn't say went to Martinsburg High School. Then we'd have some words.
Yeah, right here. Go forward, go.
Sonic with the throw. Santana gets a piece. Here's Sonic again. And Shenandoah will keep it. Quick toss in. And briefly cleared. Now it does get away thanks to Sophie Walsh on the header. Wig Boldy plays it back now, plays it long and too long for Taylor Smith, who says, man, it's a long game. I'm not chasing after that. Once again, Shenandoah pushing ahead. Alexa runs it down, and then Swisher kicks it away. You got to give a lot of props to Shenandoah. I mean, giving up a goal in 23 seconds could put you down for the rest of the half, but they've responded well, and we've been looking to our right an awful lot since then.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a really good job of keeping Lynchburg on the defensive right now. And, I mean, it's just a one-point game right now, so right now they do have a little bit of momentum. It could be that it's tied up at any minute.
They still have not registered a shot yet. With all of these build-ups, they can't quite finish the rest of the formula and test Laura Mason too much. Lynchburg has 5 shots and still just 1 save on the board from Alyssa Brown of Shenandoah. And 1 goal coming from Lindsey Grady of Lynchburg. Sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida. Speaking of great weather. Just as we have here today, going to get up to 61 degrees before it's all said and done. Good one touch for Wig Boldy, leading Newman, but not quite quick enough. Was number 2 in white. Not like some of the subjects that her dad, Victor, takes photos of. He travels the states, taking photos of pretty much anything sports-wise, but has a large portfolio of motorsports pictures. So you know I'm all about it. I say you as in like everybody in this box. I don't know if everybody knows that, but everybody in here does. Newman picks it up on the run, keeps it from going across the touch line, and centers one for a sprinting D'Amato, and then swiftly kicked aside by Marquette. Lynchburg awaiting the moment to bring in a couple more subs here. Each team with decent depth, so that won't be a factor today. But D'Amato's a factor here. She had help in the middle, but once again, Abby Marquette stepping in to make a big play to slow down that push by Lynchburg. And here come the substitutions we had mentioned.
Number 20, Rebecca De Silva. And number 22, Abby Little.
Rebecca De Silva, freshman from Stanhope, New Jersey, makes her first appearance today. Also Abby Little, a freshman from Herndon, Virginia, on your screen. And she steps into her 6th game played of her freshman campaign. Smith being chased down by Fisher, breaks away. That one goes deflecting off of the upper body of a Shenandoah player. And then Santana winning one away from Lexi DeSora. Taylor Smith slicing through the middle of the field. Smith gets to the 18, rips one, and it's wide. Best chance Lynchburg's had for a long time. And we have 17 minutes to go in the first half of play. And more members of the Peanut Gallery coming out to the track. So it should be pretty lively for this one. And of course, our weekend ender, men's soccer hosting Hampton-Sydney at 5 p.m. on this field, on this network. We're trying to make it really easy on you guys. You don't have to move. Just hang out on the couch, reload the chip bowl, and get ready for some more action from the pitch as Walsh's shot is scooped up by Brown. Just pushing that one ahead was Morris. Alex Allen for Lynchburg, Penseal there for Shenandoah. Dangerous ball, but Hyatt just gets it away, and then it's taken back by McGee. More changes to the formation for each squad.
Into the game for Shenandoah, number 14, Maya Horner. And into the game for Lynchburg, number 19,
Maya Horner for Shenandoah makes her first appearance today. And Camille Waits, freshman from Dillsburg, PA, also checking in for Lynchburg. Glad everyone's okay inside the donkey. That ball came flying in. It's happened before. This time no laptop's broken, so much better result. Shenandoah looking for their best result on Schellenberger Field ever, if they can pull off a win or a tie. They have not held Lynchburg to a tie either in their previous 7 matches on this turf. Substitutions being made. Let's go back and show you how we got here. Just 23 seconds in. That crosser that Wigboldy got a piece of. Brown there with a save, and then the rebound from Lindsey Grady. Her third goal of the season. All of her goals have come here on Schellenberger Field this year. Since then, though, Shenandoah has to have the advantage, and anybody who's watching this would have to agree with that, Aaron.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, I mean, we still have seen that Shenandoah hasn't had a true opportunity on goal yet, but for Lynchburg, they're really successful playing the connection and crossing game, and aside from that first goal, we haven't seen them do that again. So I think it's interesting that what worked, they're kind of straying away from at the moment.
Looking for a strong push here. It's De Silva in the corner, and it'll be another corner. This is the third of the half for Lynchburg. Oh, I beg your pardon, it's just a throw. De Silva getting it back from Waits, using that left foot across the 18. D'Amato chips one, and it's going to be well wide. Lynchburg hasn't done as well as I'm sure they would like to on set pieces. I think that's been a struggle for them. They've had more corners. They had a deep throw there, but at the end of the day, it's just a wide shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the last game that we called together, we talked about that, about how set pieces are really important opportunities to at least be able to get things on frame. And right now, both teams with their set pieces and even just their dangerous plays in the attacking, in either attacking third, have not done a very good job of challenging each goalkeeper.
So I guess my next question would be in relation to that. Is that more of a problem for those attacking, or is it more of a tip of the cap to those playing defense?
I think it kind of depends on the situation. Like right now, I think both teams are playing pretty decent defense. I think Shenandoah is playing really good defense at the moment. They're making Lynchburg's offense struggle a bit to be able to combine and keep possession in that attacking third. But it also is just making smart decisions, like finding your teammates' feet and capitalizing on really important plays.
De Silva again. This one chipped up by Waits, and Brown had it knocked away. Was it too soon? No penalty is called here. No foul is called against D'Amato. Really tough spot, especially with the sun beating down here. But Brown keeps her composure and sends it deep. Ten minutes remaining in the first half of this ODAC women's soccer matchup. Lynchburg and Shenandoah meeting for the 13th time since 2010. I'm Joe Hutzler. She's Aaron Farina. This is LHSN. The Hornets of Lynchburg leading at 1-0 with double-digit shot totals right now. One shot credited to Shenandoah and 3 saves for Alyssa Brown in between the pipes for the visitors today. Waits goes deep. This is Bunker chasing it down to 2-on-1 if she hurries. Bunker sends one. Brown rebound loose and kicked away at the last moment by Sonic. Brown is still bent over a little bit.
aside from the collision there at the end, I think that was actually a really good opportunity for Lynchburg to be able to score on. I almost wish that that initial first shot, she'd taken another touch and either gotten herself set up a little bit more for a little bit of a better shot, trying to find a corner instead of just straight on at Brown. Or, like, at that point, Alyssa D'Amato is in the 18. She's ready for a cross, or she's ready to rebound something afterwards, try and find her feet maybe, and she can play something one touch.
So I do want to make a possible correction when there's a moment here as Lynchburg continues to build the attack. Santana, good play here for Little, chipping it low and scooped in. And everybody's okay in that situation. The reason I wanted to bring that up is, so there's some confusion about the numbers, jersey numbers. We talked about, well, Alyssa Brown's been wearing number 0 all year, even though she's number 98 on the roster, but she's wearing it today. Well, from back here, I thought it was 98. It's actually 99. There is no 99, which makes me believe that that is actually Jordan Hack, who's number 33 on the roster. She's played a few times this season, and the description that I was given was that she has shorter hair and doesn't wear it up. So I think that's Jordan Hack. So apologies for getting that information wrong throughout the broadcast. I will double check that with those at the scorer's table at halftime. We did not get a chance to witness the starting lineups. So based on the information I was given pregame, I think that's where we are. So I think it's Jordan Hack, the freshman from Baltimore, Maryland, in play for Shenandoah. This would be her second appearance of the season. She got 15 minutes of play time so far. And in this one, she's going to go a first half and potentially keeping it 1-0 after a couple sturdy saves, but definitely Lynchburg relishing the opportunities of those rebounds and not able to come up with second chances just as they did in the first 20 or so seconds. Smith whiffed on that kick, and so it'll be a goal kick. Yeah, I feel confident in that now that I remember that information. I'm pretty sure that's Jordan Hack. Good ball played here. Bunker trying to corral it. And it slipped by. There's an offside call, though, on D'Amato. Had to be awfully close. From back here, it's really tough for us to make a judgment, but got to go with the person that's standing on that line. Yeah. Confirmation based on roster photos, that is Jordan Hack. So we got it right. We got it right. A little detective work during a soccer game. It all happens here. Lynchburg has dominated possession in the last 5 minutes. Many more chances than they had in the middle part of this first half as D'Amato chips one high that Hack sends high over top of the crossbar. It'll be a corner, but Jordan Hack using all of that 5'10" frame to keep that one from finding the back of the net.
Lynchburg corner being taken by number 3, Taylor Smith.
One more look at it, just using the fingertips. As Smith sends one here. Loose out near the 18. Who's going to get there first? It's Shenandoah. .340 to go here in the first half. Stick around at halftime because we will be back here in the, what'd you call it yesterday? The shack?
The shack.
Back in the shack for halftime. Talking about what we've seen so far in the first half, a little bit more, plus stats and highlights. This has been a very good battle, as it has been over the years. Most recently, a lot of one goal games and really gritty battles, just as it was last time Lynchburg was at home against Randolph-Macon. The intensity will certainly pick up as the game progresses. And a chance here for Shenandoah. Looking for their second shot of the game so far. Stepping in, this is Lexi DeSora. Gets it back, has room, sends it, and it slipped off of the body of Alex Allen, who got there in time. Continues the pinball around the 18. Now controlled by Fisher. And then Santana wins it away. Cleared out, but Shenandoah will take possession. Less than 2 minutes to play. And first of 2 matches today on this pitch. Men's soccer for Lynchburg hosting Hampton-Sydney at 5 p.m. Long ball, stops on a dime and lays there for a tussle of possession. Too many Shenandoah players around for bunker. So they'll take hold and try to push here late. And Sonic will just watch it roll across the touchline. Head goes up in despair. I should have just ran after that. It was so close to being in or out. Countdown begins in stadium as we are headed to halftime. 45 minutes gone by. Lynchburg needed 23 seconds to score, and they held on to that for the rest of the time. It's 1-0 at the break here on LHSN.
Everyone has a story. A triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. Every story has a beginning. For us, Our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students, professors, staff, and alumni around the world. In a community that supports who we are and who we want to be, we're on a journey to find where our passions lead so we can lead others to find theirs. Together, we have more experience, we have more knowledge than we do alone. Eventually, our stories will lead us to a path all our own, and we will share our passions with the world. No matter the journey we choose, the University of Lynchburg is, and always will be, our home.
Carrie Brewer became the 7th president of Lynchburg College in 1964, only 15 years after his graduation in 1949. During those intervening years, he had earned a PhD in public policy from Harvard, served as an aide to 2 major congressional committees, and was the director of emergency preparedness in the Kennedy administration. Returning to his alma mater, he hit the ground running. Dr. Brewer initiated a change in the college charter to allow students of all races to enroll. He cut the standard faculty teaching load by 20%. He improved faculty and staff salaries and increased the size of the faculty and the student body. He sought to raise the visibility of the college in Lynchburg as well as the larger community by offering graduate programs in education, business, and physics to meet identified needs in Central Virginia. An enthusiastic fan of LC sports, Dr. Brewer added administrative support to the college's athletic programs, resulting in the emergence of Lynchburg College as a national athletic power. During his presidency, Shenandoah Chapel, the courts, McWayne, Tate, and Montgomery residence halls, the Burton Student Center, Turner Gymnasium, Wakefield House, Fox Field, the Dillard Fine Arts Building, the Capron Library, and the residences on Faculty Drive were added to the college physical plan. Also, Memorial Gymnasium was transformed into Hall Campus Center. Carnegie Hall was converted into faculty offices, and the surviving World War II Quonset hut was remodeled into the psychology building. However, perhaps the greatest legacy left Lynchburg College by Carrie Brewer is the attitude embedded in his oft-repeated statement that a great college is always in the process of becoming. In the decade since he retired, Lynchburg College has become a university and has continued to grow and change, moving ever closer towards becoming the institution envisioned by a 36-year-old neophyte college president over half a century ago.
It's halftime here at Schellenberger Field. It is a 1-0 lead for Lynchburg over Shenandoah on LHSN. Much more to come next.
My name is Marlene Castaños. I graduated in 2009. I was a communication major. I am a digital producer now for the Martin Agency. So we have brought up amazing clients from Geico to Land O'Lakes to Oreo. So we get to create amazing content, all those funny Geico commercials that you see. And as a digital producer, I get to create amazing content for digital. I was very highly involved here. I was president of my class while I was here. I was president of the Hispanic Society. I joined a sorority when I was here. I had like 2 jobs. So having a sense of managing my time, it kind of pushed me to be better at my job right now. Just knowing that you had someone on your corner was really important, and they really took the time to really invest in their students. I felt like I had a cheerleading squad behind me at every single point. They were the ones that encouraged me to look for those opportunities, to push myself to be better. So it's definitely truly an amazing place. I brag about this place all the time. So if anyone gets lucky enough to be part of this community, it's life-changing.
And welcome back to Schellenberger Field at University of Lynchburg. Halftime here, a 1-0 lead for the Hornets of Lynchburg. And welcome back inside the shack as Aaron Farina and Joe Hutzler are with you. I'm a bit more casual here at halftime, but it's been anything but that on the pitch in the first half. Obviously, that really quick start for Lynchburg, they held on to that lead, but Shenandoah has fought back really, really hard. In your opinion, does either team have an advantage, or is it just as even as we saw it in the first half of play?
I think for the most part it's pretty even. Obviously, you have Lynchburg leading the game right now, score-wise, but Shenandoah has put themselves in some really dangerous opportunities. While they haven't necessarily had a really dangerous shot on goal yet, they're really having a pretty significant impact on Lynchburg's defense at the moment. And I think it's only a matter of time before they really challenge Laura Mason.
Yeah, no question if they continue to build off what they did in the first half. Speaking of first half, let's look at some numbers to kind of illustrate what took place. And you can see, to your point, Aaron, the discrepancy in total shots, period, and yet they have not been able to put one on goal. You feel like they got to do that early, right, in the second half?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that even if it's a pretty long range shot or something, they need to put something on frame, and they need to start testing Lynchburg's defense a little bit more and Lynchburg's goalkeeper. I think that putting a little bit more pressure on them in that sense might create a little bit of frantic play and things of that nature, and they just really need to start being a little bit more aggressive on the offensive front.
Well, not much longer before we get to see what they do. A second half is coming up. We'll show you some first half highlights first, though, in case you missed anything. You're watching ODAC Women's Soccer Action on LHSN.
Thomas Gibson Hobbs graduated from Virginia Christian College in 1904 as a member of its first graduating class. After earning a law degree from the University of Virginia, he settled in Lynchburg and began a highly successful career as an attorney. In January of 1915, he was invited to attend a meeting of the College Board of Trustees during which the possibility of closing the college due to financial concerns was to be considered. Mr. Hobbs spoke eloquently of the need to fight for the college's existence, and the board decided to continue operating the institution. He was asked to serve on the board at that meeting and served as the chairman of the Board of Trustees from 1918 until his tragic death in 1942. Mr. Hobbs was a guiding light as the college changed its name to Lynchburg College and moved toward becoming an accredited liberal arts institution. His relationships with the economic power structure of the city played a critical role as the young college struggled financially through the depths of the Great Depression. His belief in Josephus Hopwood's vision of the college never wavered, as reflected in his message to the student body in the late 1930s. Lynchburg College, with continued wise leadership, is just on the threshold of development into an institution which will, in still larger measure, build sound leadership in church and school and state, a leadership which will look for its reward in the consciousness of service rendered and a task well done. Upon his death in 1942, the Board of Trustees unanimously adopted a resolution of appreciation which named Mr. Hobbs as, quote, the college's greatest leader, unquote.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field. It is halftime here, and Lynchburg leads at 1-0. In case you missed anything from the first half of play, well, let's show you. And, of course, if you blink, there's going to be the first goal. It only took 23 seconds. Lynchburg and Lindsey Grady making it 1-0, but then it was a lot of really good chances for Shenandoah, to the point you just made a little bit ago, Aaron. They have a recipe. They just haven't quite finished it and able to publish it in the book yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that especially we saw towards the end there that Lynchburg's defense was getting a little bit flustered, and they were actually putting the ball in some kind of risky places, especially in the middle of the field, right outside the 18. And I think that if they keep making a little bit of communication errors like that with where they're putting the ball when they're trying to clear out of their defensive third, that Shenandoah could have a really good opportunity coming into the second half.
Well, it's going to be fun. We know that much, and we hope that you can stick around and enjoy it. If not, put it on your cell phone and take it with you wherever you go. That is the beauty of being on the YouTube channel that we have here. I want to take a look real quick and see if we've got any other action around the ODAC women's soccer landscape. For women's soccer, looks like you can do this yourself at odaconline.com. Very easy to do. And right now, start of the second half, Randolph-Macon leading Emory and Henry 1-0. It's still scoreless to start the match with Guilford and Bridgewater up in Bridgewater, Virginia. And Virginia Wesleyan and Washington and Lee, they also started at 2 o'clock today. And right now the Generals lead the Marlins 1-0. That is a big one related to recent success with those institutions as far as ODAC conference tournament and seedings, of course. It's going to be pretty tight coming down the stretch. And when Lynchburg plays Washington and Lee on the 28th here on this network and on this field, that could be a determining factor for the ODAC hosting gig, whichever team ends up doing that in the middle of April. Lynchburg out shooting and outscoring Shenandoah in the first half. Unfortunately, time of possession is not something that we keep here, but we imagine it would be pretty close between these two. So we'll see if Shenandoah can start fast and get something to test Laura Mason. As we await the whistle. Now we're ready. Here we go. And right away, Lynchburg with a steal. It's going to be a starting 11 for both teams to begin the second half. Maddie Myers by herself chases it down the corner. Here's Myers with the cross, bouncing near Hack and kicked away cleanly by Bella Infuso. Never made its way to Hack, which was probably a good thing as fast as that ball was coming in. Now they'll be tested again. Smith, and it's inside near the 6. Lynchburg wanted a handball, does not get called. And now Shenandoah looking for the counter. Not getting a lot of help in making that happen. Just like that, we're back to this. After a frantic start, more of a soccer's pace. Chance to get a breather. Which, of course, is always important since there are no timeouts in this sport. You relish the throw-ins and the substitution moments. Myers working against Sonic. And this will be Lynchburg possession. Swisher just got that away, but it was off target. That's Travia Morris tossing it in, the junior out of Ashburn, Virginia. Went to Broad Run High School. That's where Bailey Kearns of Lynchburg men's soccer went to school. You can catch him and everybody else for Lynchburg and Hampton-Sydney men's soccer at 5 p.m. Free kick. And Mason makes the catch up high, meets it at its highest point, so no one could get in the way of that. Good pass out to Santana. Then Infuso sends it right back. You know, Aaron, I'm excited about the men's soccer game, but I'm more excited about the hour in between because then I get to have the rest of that sandwich from yesterday.
That's what I'm gonna have after this.
There we go. See, yeah. Thank you, Taste in Newport News. That's right. It's called Taste. If you're in Newport News, Virginia, as Aaron and I were yesterday, covering an epic top 15 men's lacrosse battle, check out Taste. It is fantastic. Great vibes, great food, good drink choices. Although we both got tea, so I mean. But you can mess up tea. You can mess up sweet tea.
You can.
So they did not. It was very good. Newman with the pressure in the corner and then colliding with Morris as it gets deflected across the touchline. And it'll go across the end line and a goal kick for Hack. Shenandoah was in Newport News yesterday. I forgot about that. Like after the men's lacrosse game, yeah, women's lacrosse was there. Really good battle apparently in that match. Unfortunately, Shenandoah fell to CNU, 19-14. But they were certainly feeling themselves when they came into the stadium.
Yes, they were.
Was Shenandoah. As Lynchburg applying the pressure, and this was going to be a corner. Excellent job by Grady, forcing the issue on Michaela Talbert, and the freshman was the last to touch it. It'll be the fourth corner of the match for the Hornets, and once again it's Taylor Smith trotting over. And Smith outswinging one for Allen, heads it inside, deflection did not go across the line. Sonic there with a defensive save. Once again, though, Lynchburg pressuring, and then Wigboldy sends it high over top of the crossbar, off the noggin. What a frustrating moment for Lynchburg with great pressure. But how about Sarah Sonic? Let's check it out again. It swings in from the corner, and then look to the far right of your screen. Sonic right there to make sure it did not get past the line, as it did get past Hack. It's unfortunate, Aaron. They don't count that in soccer stats like they do in field hockey, but Sonic definitely deserves a DS, defensive save.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, really good reaction time on her part. And while that didn't end up in a goal for Lynchburg, that was a really good opportunity.
It was.
And as well on the second piece of that play with that header from Amanda Wigboldy as well.
Now the question is, can Shenandoah respond? Again, they're still looking for their first really good, proper chance without having a shot on goal yet through their 5 total shots. Lynchburg now with 16 total. Hack with 5 saves on 6 shots faced. Once again, a free kick for Shenandoah, and Walsh deflects it to Santana. Newman and Morris, as they have been most of the match, fighting with it as it works its way to the midfield line. Walsh looks ahead, has some help. Myers wanted her to go to the other end of the field. Instead, Walsh will hold on to it and still connects with Myers. Finds its way to Grady. Newman. Good ball for Wigboldy. A bit of confusion there on what to do with it as Smith jukes back. Great dribbling here for Lynchburg, but in the end, it's just a slow roller that Hack can easily vacuum in. This is more of what we did not see from Lynchburg. They had a lot of one-and-done moments in the first half, whereas here, within the 2 minutes time span, they've really pressured and got good looks against Shenandoah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that in Lynchburg's attacking third, you're seeing them combine a lot more than they were in the first half. And I mean, you can already see that they're putting themselves in a lot more dangerous situations than they did in the first half.
Good deflection off the head of Talbert. It's 2-on-2. Grady for Newman. And she does deflect it, but it does not go across the line. Hack is there to hold on. It was a good deflection for Lynchburg, by the way, from Talbert. Not good for Shenandoah, as yet again, Lynchburg pressuring heavily. Smith, nice touch for Maddie Myers, who sprints through. Myers off the foot and into a chance for Lynchburg again. But Hack was ready for it.
It was number 2, Max.
Walsh ran into and then whistled before that one. It was already giving it to Lynchburg. Once again, we're spending a lot of time looking to our right. Only this time it's Lynchburg going that way. Hack holding on, then gets taken down inside the box. Certainly was not intentional, but worth arguing in the moment.
That's a little bit surprising, actually. Traditionally, you'd probably see a lot of referees call that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot less called than that, so I was ready for it. This crew not seeing it as malicious. Perhaps later in the game it could have been an issue, but we do tend to see that as matches progress, those small touches that weren't anything in the first half become more of a problem. That one seeps through, finds Hyatt. Myers and Smith. Smith finding open space. Wigboldy, great ball in for Grady. Hack gets there first though and has to stop it twice as the initial had a rebound. And this is the game plan that Shenandoah probably wanted to have as far as getting quickly into scoring areas, whereas it's been all Lynchburg since the start of the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Lynchburg's been, like we just talked about, has been doing a really good job of maintaining good sound possession in their attacking third. And I mean, that was a great opportunity right there. It was a great ball by Wigboldy and just a little more behind it than she probably would have liked for Grady. But they're definitely putting a lot of pressure on Jordan Hack, and she's been doing a really good job making some pretty good and difficult saves, especially ending up on the ground like she did just there.
A lot of traffic around her at times too.
Yeah,
that can't
absolutely.
be easy. And for someone who's not listed as a goalkeeper, I've got to keep that in mind. I mean, she's listed as a back or a mid for this Hornets team of Shenandoah.
And not to mention that I believe you said earlier that this was her second appearance.
Yeah, only 15 minutes played before today. And so other than that first goal, which may or may not have been so much on her, you know, she was there for the first stop and then didn't have help defensively. She's played very well. 7 saves for the freshman. During that recent conversation just a moment ago, Alyssa D'Amato checked in for the Hornets of Lynchburg. So first bit of changes starting to take place with 15 minutes gone by in the second half. Lindsay Grady's goal with 23 seconds into the first half, still holding true. Really, it's not a huge surprise that Lynchburg is not getting as many goals as chances related to the amount of goals they have on the year, 11 total, with 4 of those coming against a non-conference opponent, so just 7 in their 4 conference games.
And I mean, at the beginning of this season, we kind of knew that or expected that coming from Lynchburg, especially still being a young team. But we knew when we talked to the coaching staff at the beginning of the season that one of the things that they were really working on that they were struggling with was finishing the ball and their opportunities on frame. And I mean, we can see that they've obviously improved with making sure we're keeping things on frame, but we still just need to finish. Just like so. Just like that. On cue, Alyssa D'Amato finishes and puts the Shenandoah Hornets in a bigger hole, down 2-0 on D'Amato's 3rd goal of the season. Let's check it out again. Newman with the build-up and then just an excellent pass. Really well placed by D'Amato also. I mean, she's taken... Well, she's got to get to that spot, too, Yeah,
right?
absolutely. She's putting her great first touch in a great spot, and she looks up and see what she has and places the ball really well. Once again, here we go. Myers with a shot that sails just wide. This could be a really big slippery slope for Shenandoah as they played really well in the first half to keep it 1-0, but Lynchburg establishing dominance in terms of possession and chances and turning it into a goal, and here they come again trying to add to that. Good chance here for Shenandoah. Of course, being led by Penseal, but it's just a short-lived opportunity. And you can see from behind that pass, Penseal's body language really embodies what Shenandoah is feeling at the moment because they have put in a lot of effort. Just nothing to show for it yet on the scoreboard. Addie gets around, finds D'Amato. Newman cannot get past Morris. Man, that's been a good battle all day.
And a free kick here for Shenandoah. Not that many fouls today. No cards given out either. It's been a pretty even balanced game related to the teams being on their best behavior. Hasn't always been the case when these two programs get together.
Into the game for Shenandoah. Number 7, Abby Alexa. And into the game for Lynchburg. Number 23, Jessica.
Abby Alexa returns for Shenandoah as Jessica Lakowitz, the senior out of Roanoke, Virginia, celebrating Senior Day, gets her first taste of play. Shenandoah really could use a scare here for Mason and Lynchburg defense. Instead, the free kicks comes right to the head of Alex Allen. And Smith just gets that one away from Talbert, who was eyeing up a shot from the 18. Santana does a good job of just getting to an open spot, and eventually Lynchburg will have a chance to toss it in. "20 minutes gone by here in the second half. Lynchburg adding a tally to make it 2-0 on the third goal of the season for Alyssa D'Amato. They've also added 7 shots to their total, as Jordan Hack has added 2 saves to hers. Good chance, and yet it just chips high and wide. And Lynchburg will make 2 more changes to their lineup. Abby Little returns. And we're also going to see Kelsey Seary, the junior from Virginia Beach, for the first time. There's Camille Waits. And that's Alex Allen. Allen transferring in over the fall from Hampton University. There's Wigboldy. She transferred a season ago, from William & Mary. Taylor Smith, no transferring needed. Her family is always around Lynchburg soccer, as that one just got away from the boot of D'Amato.
Into the game for Shenandoah. Number 22, Lexi Cook.
Lexi Cook out of Chesapeake, Maryland. All smiles as she steps in. Hard not to smile when the weather's like this. Just can't get over it. We've had a little bit of rain and it's been cold and gross. And today, can't ask for much better weather.
It's appropriate, marking spring just started.
That's right, yeah, yesterday, first day of spring. So happy spring, everybody. In case you didn't know, as I didn't know it was daylight savings time last Sunday. I was very upset. I finally had a chance to sleep in, as D'Amato was deemed offside anyway on that play. Yes, I get to sleep in. And then, oh wait, I'll lose an hour, so I don't. Boo. So my mood a week ago was much worse than this is, so hope everybody can appreciate that. You're lucky. Hyatt, ball intended for D'Amato, swept away by Marquette. Coach Pike and Shenandoah want to make a change, but they're going to have to wait. Quick toss finds D'Amato, works to the top corner. Looking to get a chance off that right foot. It's been magical so far. 1 shot, 1 goal in the second half. And now both teams will make changes. Emma Labisi is checking in for Shenandoah. And we're also going to see Savannah Harper for Lynchburg. First time we've seen the freshman out of Purcellville, Virginia. She's playing back there with, or playing up there, I should say, with D'Amato in the forward spot. There's Emma Hyatt, one of the 4 seniors, being honored. 5 total. Tanner Olson, Coach Olson's son, student assistant with the team, also being honored before the game. Smith trying to break away and does. And then this one gets chipped. Lexi Cook will chase it down. Allen connects with Little. Smith doing what she can to work around Labisi. Those fresh legs from the junior, helping her stay with an all-conference player like Taylor Smith. Hackowitz plays keep away. Smith setting up Siri. Play to the middle. Lots of play happening on this side of the field. Shenandoah would be wise to try and get it to some open space. Travia Morris will pretty much win that battle as she fought against 2 Lynchburg players, and a whistle give the throw to the visitors. Morris steps in, steals that one away, but only briefly. That's pretty much the story of the game, Aaron. Shenandoah's got chances, but they're brief. Lynchburg's defense, got to give them credit for stomping out most of the good chances Shenandoah has had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that while in the first half we saw there wasn't really one team that was having a majority of the possession going on, Lynchburg has pretty dominantly maintained possession for this half. I mean, they're playing really good defense. They're keeping the ball in front of them, and they're making really good combinations through the midfield and up into their offense.
So far, it's led to 7 total shots, 3 on goal, 1 that got past, and this one should get past. Poor situation for Hack as Kelsey Siri is the beneficiary of a 3-on-1. Look at it one more time. Just feel really bad for Hack out there on an island. But for Kelsey Siri, her 3rd appearance of the season, her 1st goal of the season, all smiles as they should be. Virginia Beach native becoming yet another Hornet for Lynchburg this season, scoring their first career goal at home. Lindsey Grady did it back in the first home match of the season. For Siri, it's been a lot of effort to get to this point as a junior. But well deserved by everyone in that group. Lynchburg being rewarded for their excellent play in the second half. Right idea for Penseal in the end. 3 Hornets on the ground, 2 wearing blue, 1 wearing right, and play continuing. Penseal slow to get up behind the play, but she is up. That's good news for Shenandoah. She'll have to jump back on side. This is a problem that we've seen a few times, especially in the past with Lynchburg's great offensive teams, is that when the opponents do get a chance, everybody's so far back playing defense that there's a ball, a decent ball, but it's just out there in open space. There's no one around to pressure it because everybody for Shenandoah is on their heels.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having been playing defense for the majority of the second half, any opportunities that they are getting, they're not transitioning offensively as a unit.
I think you got to keep talking when Alyssa D'Amato has the ball, because when Aaron is on the call, D'Amato scoring twice, both coming here in the second half. Second of the day, 4th of the season for the Warrenton, Virginia native. And Lynchburg in firm control with 15:27 remaining, up by 4. Shenandoah not going to give up because, well, it's not the last game of the season. They can't give up. They've got a lot more going on. They are going to fall to 1-4 in conference play, though, losing their last 4 against ODAC opponents. And this will also be their 4th loss in 5 matches as D'Amato pulls off the Hattie. That's just getting to the ball first, right, Aaron?
Absolutely. I mean, Alyssa D'Amato, she's a pretty dangerous player with the amount of speed that she has. And I mean, she's been doing a really good job of making herself available this game and just a really dangerous offensive threat.
3 goals and an assist today, by the way. So a very strong 7-point outing for Alyssa D'Amato. And now with 5 goals in the season to lead all Lynchburg players. And you saw Coach Olson on the sideline. He's starting to make some changes, bringing in some more players to the fold. We're going to see Sophie Wells playing defense, as well as Annie Doyle on the back line for Lynchburg. Grace Milligan also out there for Lynchburg. She has the ball now. Harper plays it for Waite, stepping in, trying to get that one through. Looking for Megan D, who replaced Alyssa D'Amato. How about that exit from the game? Hat trick, see y'all later. I need some water. For Lynchburg, this will be their second straight victory after falling to Bridgewater 3-1 in their only loss of the season back on March 7th. Here's Siri across the 18, and it'll sail all the way to the other side. Lynchburg has Sweetbriar next, so you'd imagine that they will have 3 straight wins before they welcome in Washington and Lee on the 28th of March right here on LHSN. That will be the final home match before the ODAC tournament. As D drives in and will roll this one slowly into the hands of Jordan Hack. Hack did all she could in the first half, kept it 1-0 after giving up an early goal. But not much her or the line mates in front of her can do about this second half barrage from Lynchburg. Especially when you consider they put 11 shots on the board. 11 total shots on goal this game. As Taylor Smith will leave for the rest of the game. Sophie Walsh will take her place. Siri with the toss. Waits chasing it down, kept it in play. Here it is near the goal line. Off a few heads, and then Siri will have a chance again. That time it was rejected off the foot of Marquette. Nope, that's not Marquette, that's DeSora. Marquette is in the middle of this formation as Siri threatens again. I feel good about the chances of having a partner in the booth the next game. Coach Newton said he would be here for the men's soccer game against Hampton-Sydney. In the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, but if y'all don't win, do you really want to get on the microphone? But I think we'll have him on here with 10-11 to go, up by 5. And Lynchburg continuing to press. Harper on the run and lets it roll. Got some fans of Sophie Wells close by. Also men's lacrosse out here on the track supporting women's soccer after a difficult defeat yesterday in overtime at CNU. But it won't be long. They can rebound potentially on Friday night under the lights, 7 o'clock. Lynchburg and CNU. It'll be probably a top 5 matchup at that point. Lynchburg number 2 heading into the weekend. CNU number 11. And the captains are 6-0 on the year with a win over a number 2 team. You have to imagine we're going to get pretty close to that top 5 ranking, depending on what else happened in men's lacrosse yesterday. So you want to tune into that one. No matter your affiliation, it's going to be a good one. Friday Night Lights, lacrosse style. In the game we watched yesterday, we might see some big hits for a Friday Night Light type of game.
Yeah, we might.
There was some heavy hits laid on both teams yesterday. As Lynchburg continues to make changes, Caroline Bunker comes in to play up front, and headed to the back line is Lauren Thomas, freshman from Abingdon, Maryland. This is D. Played ahead for Bunker. Knocked down by Sellers. First time we've seen Reagan Sellers today for Shenandoah. Coach Pike making some changes too, making sure that everyone gets an opportunity to play today. Poplardo in the corner. Along the end line, and it tight ropes the line. Hack scooping it in. As we have less than 8 minutes before this one is over. All academic now. Lynchburg well on their way to their 5th win of the season in 6 tries, as the clock will stop, and we're going to get a check on Kristen Fisher, who went down hard. Good to see Fisher get up and actually jog off under her own power, so that's very good news. You see Casey Morin, sophomore from Denville, New Jersey, stepping in for the first time. Low kick. Stepped into by Wells. Poplardo around it. Looking for help in the middle. Milligan connects here with Thomas. Kelsey Seary, one of 3 Hornets for Lynchburg to score today. Megan D. Gonna go wide on that chance. 3 goals from Melissa D'Amato, a goal from Lindsay Grady, and a first career goal for Kelsey Seary. Those are your goal scorers this afternoon. Rebecca Da Silva checking in for the first time today for Lynchburg. She will take the place of Sophie Walsh in the midfield area. Stansbury was ready to go, but substitutions are also being made. Taylor Morris and Jasmine Lopez on your screen. Jasmine, a freshman from Ashburn, holds the title of shortest Hornet in the department, standing at 4'10", and making it tough on Stansbury there. That's going to be Shenandoah with a throw in deep in their offensive third as we have 5 minutes to go in regulation. Chance to say thank you to Aaron for putting up with me again today after 12 hours yesterday, 2 hours today, but hopefully a little bit of fun in those 14 hours.
It was fun.
Okay. You weren't saying anything, so I was nervous. Like, just fake it for the people listening. It's okay. Kate Duncan lines this one up. She relieved Laura Mason a little bit ago in goal. Free kick for Shenandoah. Their 4th of the half. And a good chance building here. Never quite making it to Duncan, though. And Lynchburg survives. The best chance of the half by Shenandoah. If you've wondered throughout the day, what's all that construction going on in the background? Why is the scoreboard on the ground? Well, we are in the process of placing the largest Division III video board east of the Mississippi inside this venue. Scheduled to be completed around the 1st of April. And that's also why we are on this side of the field. For those of you that are tuning in for the first time this year, thinking, what in the world? Why are we over here? Well, you have to have a place to house the equipment to operate the video board, and that, of course, is going to be where we used to be, in the pavilion, which will now be a better enclosed space with all the equipment and technical needs as Bunker takes down a Shenandoah defender and then puts the ball in on Hack. I don't remember what it's called, but technically we're not allowed to call that new building a press box. Mark Robertson making sure that we knew that press boxes have to have bathrooms. This will not have a bathroom. So it's just a media room, I guess, a media building, small structure. But it'll be great when we're there. Our view can be higher to the game to see these plays build up in a more natural setting of being up higher above the field. It'll make a greater experience for those in the venue as well, or anywhere around the venue, as big as that video board's going to be. "90 seconds to go. Lynchburg on their way to a victory today. Hoping to bring good luck to this field for 5 o'clock when men's soccer hosts Hampton-Sydney on LHSN. We hope you can tune back in. Maybe it can be background noise for you while you're watching some March Madness basketball. Shout out to the women's tournament getting started today. In case you didn't know, Sophie Wells made a good play. Well, Aaron, at the end of it all, we knew that adjustments needed to be made. We talked a lot about Shenandoah and what they had to do to sustain pressure, but Lynchburg took those words and took them for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Lynchburg did a really good job coming out of a pretty 50-50 first 45 minutes, and they were really aggressive on the offensive front and just, I mean, really capitalized on most of their chances. And on top of that, they did a really good job keeping all of their opportunity, or most of all their opportunities on frame as well.
very accurate and efficient second half leads to the win. The Hive has spoken, and Lynchburg takes care of Shenandoah, redeeming themselves after losing in 2019. This one 5-0, thanks to 3 goals from Alyssa D'Amato, a goal from Kelsey Siri, and the one that started it all from Lindsay Grady. Hope that you enjoyed today's broadcast as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We've got more work to do, and hopefully you don't. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy what's coming your way. For the LHSN crew, Aaron Farina to my left, we are going to say so long from Lynchburg, Virginia. As Lynchburg wins their second straight, they get ready for a tussle with Sweetbriar. They'll be back here at home on the 28th of March, taking on the Generals of Washington and Lee. We leave you with some highlights and a reminder. It's a great day to be a Hornets, and we are one nation.